feels like a controversial question, and I'll say a rebellious question to even say out loud, can you quit homework? In a post that has been viewed and shared thousands of times, educational expert Lizzie Assa wrote, "Homework isn't sacred. You're allowed to say no. Your family's peace matters way more." She goes on and concludes ultimately by saying, deciding homework is too much tonight isn't rebellion. It's parenting with intention, because compliance isn't the goal, your child's well-being is. It's an attitude that gives us something to think about and something to talk about, so we're pulling in educational consultant Michelle Loveday for her thoughts. Good to see you.
So good to see you.
So first blush reactions to that statement that you can quit homework.
I'm sure there was a lot of gasps and probably a lot of educators saying, please don't do that. But it's important because I think there is a lot of pressure that we put on our kids, and we just can't have them constantly working in a state of stress. Yeah.
This isn't a new debate, and I'll call it that, because it comes up, I feel like, every few years, if not every year. Does homework, in your opinion, and based on the research that I know you so thoughtfully curate and pull from, does homework have a place?
It does have a place if it's thoughtfully put forward for what the student needs. When I was a principal, I kind of said we're a no homework school. And we had students that sometimes would go home, didn't have parents there that could help them, and so then you're going to create further frustration for them. And so I said I really want them to focus on reading for 20 minutes, vocabulary enhancement, and anything that maybe they can carry over from class that they can do on their own without parent support. But typically, let's not do homework. It's stressful. And what is the purpose of it? And when you look at the research that you mentioned, John Hattie has these effect sizes of what we do within school and how they affect the student educational outcome and achievement. And homework for K-6 is like 0.29.
The effect is
not that large. For older students, as they get, older in their learning, and of course college when they're studying, the effect size is bigger. But it's not that large that's going to impact them to be A students and stars.
So back to the question, can I quit? You can look at the effectiveness or the significance in their stage of education.
Exactly.
Okay. A few other things that you think parents should note, and maybe teachers too. The kind of homework matters. You touched on this.
Yes.
What homework equates to good homework?
Exactly. Well, okay, the kind of homework is not just let's do math facts and that's what it is. It's the enhancement and enrichment from what they've already learned in the classroom that they can pull up on. So for me, I would rather, as an educator, see parents taking their children outside, learning a farm trade, how chickens lay eggs, growing something that they could take and see the process of that they can carry over into science and photosynthesis.
Like the real life application.
The real life application. And if we're truly calling it homework, then that's up to the parents to decide what that's going to look like. For me as a parent, I want to enrich my children. I have them in violin lessons, dance lessons, looking at different things that enhance them so they can create stories in their writing lessons. Otherwise, if you have nothing happening to you, you have nothing to write about. But if I went to Moab for the weekend and climbed to the arch, that's going to be an adventure, and that's going to have something that's going to live on, and then teachers can draw upon those experiences to create a great writing lesson.
I think another argument that I hear a lot, and frankly I feel a lot, is that kids need to just be kids, like especially in those younger grades, like even if they don't have the dance or the soccer or the prescribed adventure, just to do nothing.
Just to go out and explore and find a mud puddle and jump in it. We had rain today. Let's go make some mud pies and see what happens with that. I think when we were in COVID, we had some good ingenuity, and there were things going on where when the days were off, they created a bingo sheet for students to find out. Talk to your postal service man. Find a grocery something or other in the grocery store, and really giving them a chance to explore their community and something outside. We need to get our students, as we've talked in the past before, off the devices as much and exploring, and let them be children to find those experiences.
You also point out, Michelle, and I really appreciate this, that kids need to see, learn, and honor this distinction between home and work. Those are two separate things in two separate places.
And we're a society that sometimes is overworked. We don't use our vacation days. We don't use our sick days. So what are we really teaching our children when they go to school for 8 hours and then they have to continue to do more after hours, at the dinner table, frustrated and it's 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night. We're teaching them that there's no balance of work and life.
And I love this final point, and it's probably why of all the homework my children, bring home, I love the weather units the most, because it promotes connection and interaction. Like, you are a fan of homework that gets the family involved and creates those moments at home.
And creates the discussion. When we're talking about, what culture are you from and where are you going, how are you going to figure that out if you don't get to talk to parents and grandparents and learn your historical context? Really getting family involved, where you have to call a grandma or an aunt on the phone, and really being purposeful in what you want students to learn. And as a teacher, do you really want to grade everything all the time? So it gives you a break and it gives a balance. So parents, it's not a bad thing if you say, hey, this is not going to work for my family. Are there adjustments and adaptations that I can do? 30 math facts is not going to work for our family. Can we maybe do 10 to show a progress of learning and understanding?
But have a conversation.
But have the conversation and not just,
Blow it
it's
off.
not, we're not going to do this and I have my right, which you do, but have the honor of what the teacher is trying to instill and what goals and objectives do you want my child to learn this year, and how can we be on the same page so it's not stressful?
You might, as the parent, see a different side to that.
Yes.
That, oh, you're trying to teach that, or you're trying to enforce that.
Oh, you need an extension of this lesson. I got you. Let's have each other's back.
I always appreciate your wisdom, your insight, and of course the dip into the research that you provide us. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.